and welcome to a special edition episode of the Thompson's Comic Corner. This Saturday is Free Comic Book Day or Comic Book Giveaway Day, or I've seen like four different names. So I just know it's Free Comic Book Day, but that's what we're celebrating. And we're going to bring you three books to, if you go to the comic book store Saturday, you need to go look into, you need to go buy the trade paperbacks. And I'm your host, Zach. Sorry, as always. And then, my usual shotgun rider, George from Shortbox Summary, is here with me too.
What's up?
Wow, we're going on an absolute journey.
Bef Dude, before we even go on that journey, can I just do a quick aside about Free Comic Book Day?
Yes.
One, it's an awesome day because it just celebrates comic book stores. I've been to places where I don't know if you've heard of like the 501st Legion, which is like a Star Wars group of people who dress up like Vader's number one stormtrooper commando group. Like I've been to places where like they show up dressed in full Star Wars attire and like they're like a charity group, like they do stuff for kids all the time, especially like sick kids in hospitals. Like it just brings out like the best of the nerdy community in my experience, like in any city I've lived in. The thing that people misunderstand about Free Comic Book Day is that like the books are free. The books are free. There are select books that are free. Every publisher has a couple titles that they like to send to comic book shops. And the idea is like you go grab a couple, read them. It's like a demo for comics. However, the shops pay for these books. Those
Yes,
shops
yes, they
still
do.
buy them. So like it's a tough time economically. I'm not going to judge anyone for being short on cash or not wanting to spend money, especially at something called Free Comic Book Day. But I will just suggest but take a look in the buck bin at any shop you go to. And like the books we're talking about today are absolutely phenomenal on every level. These are totally worth your time. They're totally worth your money. So consider grabbing these books. But at the very least, go just like $5. Spend $5 at a comic shop in the dollar bin. Get cool covers, get characters you like, find something, but just kick a little money at comic shops because we've lost a lot of shops since like the pandemic started, and it's not seeming too great financially for a lot of these stores right now, despite some of the books selling better. So please just consider spending $5 if you can at a shop when you go out this weekend for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, remember it is May 2nd is Free Comic Book Day or Comic Book Giveaway Day, whatever. Like I said, I've seen it with like three different names.
Some places call it soda, some places call it pop. What can you do? You know?
And I've also seen, so like there's a bunch of artists and writers doing a bunch of things. And that's really neat, like doing like a bunch of signings and stuff for their
Oh,
books.
it's sick. Yeah.
I've seen like Gail Simone has like been like promoting the hell out of everybody that she sees.
God,
So
she's the
like that's really
best.
cool.
Isn't she the freaking best?
And like the closest one near me, which is in Pittsburgh, PA, is Phantom of the Attic, Dave Watcher. His it's Wachter. So
Hmm.
yeah, throws me for a little bit of loop. But he's gonna be there and he's doing free mini sketches for the kids.
Oh, that's rad. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like it's just seeing like stuff like that, like that's really cool. And and again, I alluded to it at the beginning of the show. The three books that we're going to talk about this evening is absolutely, they're all three bangers.
Did you just say
And
did you say absolutely?
yeah,
Oh, you dork. Yeah, nailed it.
yeah,
Nailed that
we're
pun. Yeah.
absolutely all in and we're going to take it to the next level. There you go.
Wow. Triple crown. Hell yeah, Zach.
Um, so all right, so at the time of this coming out, which would be Saturday or Thursday, is when this will drop on the radio. Oh yeah, by the way, we're on the radio. That's cool. Um,
Tune in.
yeah, or if this coming out, you should already be tuning in. So we oh hell, I lost my place. Anywho, we're talking about the
We're on the
absolute
radio.
series
Yeah.
is so we got Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, the Trinity. It's a badass line. Like it
Man,
is.
I was there when the Ultimate Comics first came out. like back in 2000 with like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, me too, but I was a snob and refused.
I didn't refuse. Like I wasn't like so obsessed with like the six ones. I was 9 or 10 years old. Like I didn't really care about like mainline continuity or whatever. But like that was like the art aesthetic that like took over. It's like lunchboxes started looking like Ultimate X-Men. Coloring books started looking like Ultimate Spider-Man. Like that's the stuff I remember.
Yeah, and I hated it. I'm sorry. I was such a stickler with like I love the smell of like the 70s books and the feel, and like that's not my
Okay,
Spider-Man.
the next thing I'm going to bully you into after we finish our Infinite Crisis series, we're going back to the start. We're checking out the Ultimates, like first volumes of each of those.
I
But
do
that
like Ultimate Spider-Man. I did, as
all
I've
right,
gotten older. So
all right, that's good. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But I'm saying I remember that, and I remember some excitement. Like I was going to the shop every week, but like I was mostly going for Pokemon cards because it was 1999, 2000. Like that was kind of my big obsession. Like the Team Rocket set just came out. Like I had all my fossils, had all my jungles, had all my base set. Like it's really just looking for the next big thing. And the amount of excitement for Ultimates comics back then was like I thought it was high. I thought it was like the most anyone had been excited for a comic book for a long time. The Absolute line blows that so far out of the water, it's not even funny. Like it's like a joke compared to the Absolute line. Like what I thought was the big pop from Ultimate Comics. Is Absolute, is it the most important comic line of the century?
ah that's
It's
that's
like up
tough.
it's like up there, right? Like the fact that it's like a conversation should like let people know like, oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah, the fact that Absolute Batman has single-handedly like handed Marvel their ass.
Yeah.
And like that's not an exaggeration. Like that
No.
book didn't need a blind bag. It didn't need multiple. Nobody issue one, nobody cares about the variants unless you're like talking about like the 1 in 1,000 or the 1 in 100s. But like the main cover A, that book is still just skyrocketing like week after week after week after week.
Yeah, I remember like buying books in high school thinking like, oh cool, that issue one I bought on a whim, it's worth $15 now. And like I don't look at comics like stocks. Like that's not why I read this stuff. But like I've never seen a book I bought be valued at what Absolute Batman #1 is now. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and the all right, so the crazy thing about it is Meatball Batman.
Mm.
They they gave them so much shit for this character before the book even came out, and now look at it. Like,
Which is
look at it now. Like, it's so
unreal,
crazy.
which is unreal to me. Like I don't understand like this rigid structure that comic book fans feel that like their comics owe them. Like I don't understand that. It's like no, the whole point of this is like it's supposed to look like a creative explosion out of the back of someone's brain. And like Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, the three books we're talking about today are absolutely that. They're like the most sincere expression of creativity from some of the most creative people in comics. And like, dude, that's what I'm here for. And so like the resistance at first, it's like one, I'm frustrated that people were like judging it completely out of context. I'm like, that's not how you judge something. You judge something in context. Out of context means nothing. And then two, it's like, is it okay? Like, let something be a little different, man. Like it's supposed to be different on purpose. Of course, it's going to look different. Like I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Now, no, no, you're fine. Now we're going to talk about Superman first, but
Mhm.
now with us going into that, Jason Aaron is the writer for that, and I want to go on a little Jason Aaron tandem, like little tandem right here. I like him. I liked his Punisher run where he made him like the master of the hand and all this weird stuff, and like his Ghost Rider run
Turn him
is
into the god of death. Yeah.
yeah, and like his Ghost Rider run was awesome. And that's really all I read was just those two. And I mean, I'm not comparing Ghost Rider or Punisher to Superman, but he gives this version of Superman. Yes, he's still, he wants to save everybody, he wants to help everybody, but he kind of has an edge. And like
Yeah.
The way that he handles himself, and when you're reading it, so oh hell, hold on, let's go into the creatives. Let's get fire up
Yeah.
the old iPad.
I got him right here. I got him right here. We got writing it. We
Go
got
for
Jason
it.
Aaron. On art duties, we got Rafa Sandoval, and we've got Carmine Di Giandomenico, and we've got Ulysses Areola on colors, and we've got Becca Carey on letters. And we got Rafa Sandoval and Ulysses Areola as the collection cover artist for this trade paperback.
Which
Um,
is
I
the last dust of Krypton.
I think, thank you. I think you launched into criticizing Jason Aaron because it's like so hard to criticize the art of this book because the art of this book is phenomenal. Like, I think for all these books, we will have fewer things to say about the art because, in my opinion, like, oh, it just rocks. Like, it's just
Seriously,
everything
all
looks like a
three of them.
loud punk album explosion, you know?
And the crazy thing is so like you have three main writers and three main artists, right? Now,
Hmm.
yes, you do get a couple guys to fill in here and there, but here's the crazy thing, dude. The guys they get to fill in for these books still put absolute bangers out. I don't care. Like, so Hayden Sherman is the artist for Wonder Woman. He does issues 1 through 5. He takes off 6 and 7 because he got busy doing Dark Patterns, the Batman story, which me and Chad go back into the archives. We did an episode on that
All right.
masterpiece. It is so good. It is a completely different art style, but it is like beautiful paintings. It's crazy.
Dude, it's wild because it is like one of those things where it's like if you become a pitcher who's known for throwing like a 99 fastball, and you're like, damn, that fastball is so bad I can't hit it. Like I just there's nothing I can do about it. And then you find out they've got like a slider that drops 9 inches, and you're like, damn, I can't hit anything these guys have. It's just like when any other series would decide to like take a dip just to like give creatives a break, like they just there's no break for any of the absolute books that we're talking about today. Like they always have another club in their bag to use a different sports metaphor, you know?
Yeah. So now we're just gonna go like we're not gonna go into full detail. I want you guys to go read it. So go buy this stuff.
Mm.
17.99 for all three trade paperbacks a piece. That
A little bit cheaper on instocktrades.com. No free ads, but man, do I love that website.
Yeah, see, there's plenty of ways. I actually think they're all on DC Infinite too, which is 12.99 or 9.99 is the subscription.
And they're all on Hoopla, which is a service that's free with a library card, which is free at your local library.
Or Libby. There's two of them. I use Libby.
Oh, I'm a huge Hoopla guy. Love it.
Yeah, I'm a Libby guy. See?
Hell yeah. Also, Libby's
So
great. Libby's great because it's got more audiobooks. So
in a nutshell, Superman's the origin stories don't well, Wonder Woman's is a little different, but the origin story for Superman really is pretty much the same. He's the last son of Krypton. Krypton blows up, saves the world. It's everybody around him for the most part, I feel is the most different.
I think I mostly I like 90% agree. I think there's two big differences. One is how much older Clark is when he comes to Earth.
Oh yeah, he's only like what, probably a teenager.
He seems like he's like 16, 17. Like he has the edge of a 17-year-old, like someone who's seen enough of the world and knows he should be angry at it. Like that's the vibe I get from him. But also, like, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was 14. Also, like, sorry, I reread these. I thought we were recording last week, so I haven't. I reread these. I took some notes. I looked over my notes today, but I'm not looking at them now. But like I wouldn't be surprised if he was like a little bit younger, but like he has like that pissed off teenager energy, which is great. Like it's super awesome. Over in Action Comics right now, Mark Waid is writing like a Superboy story basically where it's about like young Clark, and it's just like the approaches are like night and day. Seeing the differences about two people who are roughly the same age. And the second difference is he's got a little buddy with him.
Oh yeah, he has Soul,
Hmm.
SOL. That's the first time I've said it out loud. So
Yeah,
and
SOS. Yeah.
yeah, and it makes his cape, which is kind of badass. It
Oh,
is
it's sick as
dust.
hell.
It's
Yeah.
the dust from the Redlands, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sick. Like I wish go read the book, folks. Um I'm a big avid Like, go to your local comic shop, go buy the book that we talk about, read it with us. Tell us what you feel. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Spotify. Comments are open, baby.
I'm on Blue Sky. Come tell me. Short box
There
summary
you
on Blue
go.
Sky. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're here. We're here to talk all day. Um, Now the biggest problem I have, and I mean I'm okay with it, is I guess I'm torn about it. The main bad for this, and you pick it up as you go along because it's Lazarus is the company, the
Mm.
corporation that's taken over, and everybody knows who that is. And I kind of like it. And Brainiac's in there too, but like Brainiac's, I guess he's kind of like the big bad too. I don't know. It's weird at first, like in the first five issues.
It's like a video game where like you think the boss you're fighting is the final boss, and then you find out that they are in fact a minion of a bigger boss.
Right. And I mean, you have Lois is in here, but she's part of Lazarus's corporation.
Oh man, she is not Lois. Yeah, God, it's great. Yeah.
Well, I do like the part where she hates typing out her reports, but after meeting Superman, she wants to write it, and it felt good. And I was like, "Ooh, there you go. That's a little subtle nod right there."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then Jimmy Olsen's in it. He's part of the Omega Men. I mean, which that took me a second. I was like, man, I was like, that looks like Jimmy. And then he says his name, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm not completely stupid.
That's like I talked about Ultimate Comics earlier. That is like the tough thing, right? Where it's like you have such an established relationship with these characters, and then you're told, like, yeah, this is their name, but it's not them. And so like you have to readjust your expectations of these characters as you're going through it. And like it is a tough thing, but also I think a lot of people don't have like a super deep relationship with a lot of these characters. So like it is a pretty good starting point if you understand it's like, oh, this is an established Superman. That's all you need to know. It's like, oh, this is a new take on something classic. This is like the new Coke or whatever, or like this is Baja Blast Mountain Dew. This isn't the regular Mountain Dew. Like you just need to have that understanding, and
I
then you
just watched
just run buck
the
wild with
Michael
it.
Jackson movie. So you saying that, not the same Coke. This is the new generation for Pepsi.
Yeah. Uh, We'll talk about that movie after we finish recording because I got questions. Anyway, I think it's sick. Like I think giving him a different villain to start is immediately exciting, right? Because it's like you see Lazarus. If you're a DC fan, you know that Lazarus is connected to Ra's al Ghul, right? And
Oh
so
yeah.
like just that itself, I think is interesting. Also, like having Ra's al Ghul. I don't think we meet him in this arc, right?
I
Or like
think at the end, right? I think it's at the
we're hinted at him, but like we don't see his character in a meaningful way, really. We just see like
no,
the
you see
the
him
the
in a suit
shadow
though.
of
Yeah.
him, yeah. But like him having such a different goal than like the mainline DC world. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Jimmy being different, that's interesting. Lois following in her father's footsteps, which is established. Like her father is like a general in like the main DC comics, and like her being a soldier in this. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then like you mentioned the beautiful little twist about her hating writing her reports, but then all of a sudden like wanting to remember every moment of this new spectacular world she finds herself in. I'm like, oh, that's good. And then Superman just being pissed, I think is like a huge twist on a classic formula that really, really works.
You actually see his emotions. He's not a robot.
I don't think he's ever been a robot before.
You you
I'm
know what
put
I mean. Like
I
he's
know what
not
you mean,
like
but I know what you mean. But for the listeners who aren't super familiar with Superman, I'm like, I'm gonna push back on that. But
he's
you're right.
not
He's way more emotive, and like he is way more, like I said it earlier, but like punk rock. Like dude's pissed, and like he has every right to be pissed based on the world he's in this story.
in his eyes, he's seeing them killing the world just like the Kryptonians killed his world.
Yeah,
That's what he sees.
yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing, and that's cut and dry. That's the story. I mean, we're not, like I said, I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I want you guys to go out and read these books because me and George read these, and we were picking when we were doing this episode for the free comic book day and like the launch of like being on the radio. We originally were going to read like 100 issues of stuff and try to cram all these in. And we picked the main three, the Trinity, to start out with because I mean, they're just bangers. Like they're just good. The art is beautiful in all these books. The stories all make sense for the most part. You know what I mean? Like you have like your subtle twists. Like when we get into Batman, I mean, wait till we talk about Alfred. Okay,
Yeah.
just saying. Um, again, they picked two creative guys that just knocked it out of the park, and I don't have a problem with Superman. A lot of people were kind of they were like, "That's not my Superman." Well, that's the point. It's not your Superman. I don't want the same Superman. I don't want the same Wonder Woman, which we're going to transition into Wonder Woman here in a few minutes, and we'll talk about that because it's completely different.
Yeah, I get the complaint about like it's not my Superman, but also like I think it absolutely is your super. It's like how you. I'm frustrated by the current political climate. I'm not getting into details, but there are things that I would like to change, and that's how Superman feels in this book. And I feel like in the main DC continuity, Superman believes in people, and I feel like in this book, it's people believing in Superman because he's fighting for them. You know,
Yeah,
it's such like a subtle little twist that makes perfect sense where it's like Superman, I feel like in the main continuity would like rouse the people into action. Like tell them like if this isn't right, you should do something about it. He would never go to a corporation and blow in their doors and impose his will. But in this, like the people have nothing. Like there's no venue for them to improve their lives. So he has to blow down the door to give them an opportunity to impose their will. Like it's just something like that where it's just like finally someone stood up and said the thing that I believe. And like I think that is like quintessentially Superman. It's just with an accent, it's just slightly different, but it is still you can do the math to make it add up to Superman.
yeah. Again, like I said, it's Superman but with a twist, and I'm here for it. I'm open to it.
Also,
We're in our 30s. We're not, the old guy that's stuck in their ways and like I want Action Comics 1970s. It doesn't work that
no.
way. I'm open to give me the pissed off teenage Superman. He doesn't have to be
Mhm.
an adult. He doesn't have to be married. He doesn't have to have kids. Just
No.
give me something different. That's all I asked for.
Something different. This book is absolutely something different. Also, one thing I think it does differently, man, there's a lot of Krypton in this book. Like there's like a
Yeah.
lot of Krypton in this book. And this is the most I've ever been interested in Krypton. Like I've tried to go back and read older books that do it just because I feel like an obligation to, just as like someone who like really came to love comics in the early 2000s. And like there's been some stuff, but like a lot of it was focused on like new Krypton and like what if Kryptonians came back here. But this really shows you what life was like on Krypton in this continuity anyway. And it's like kind of fascinating to see, and just like how much that shaped Clark and how much that shaped Clark's ideas of what should happen or what deserves to happen in this story. And like I think that's really interesting. This is way more sci-fi than I was expecting it to be. Like a lot of mainline DC continuity like really feels like classic Americana, feels like a Norman Rockwell painting with someone who can do these incredible things. But this book feels like Logan's Run or something. Like it feels like a 70s sci-fi apparatus to tell a story about the modern world, which I think is like frankly awesome. Like I really like this book. We were talking before, like I know that this is your least favorite of like the main three books.
Yep.
Yep. But man, I'm of the opinion that like when I'm reading this book, like I think this is the best absolute book. I also feel that way when I'm reading Wonder Woman, when I'm reading Batman, when I'm reading Flash. Less so with Green Lantern, but I still really like it. A little less so with Martian Manhunter, but I think that's like one of the most creative things I've ever seen. So, but like basically whichever absolute book I'm reading, that's my favorite absolute book at that moment. Like just being in the world is everything to me. And like, man, I think this book rips. I think this book is so good. And like especially I think they're on like issue 19 now of the book.
Something like that.
It just keeps amping up everything, every issue, where I'm surprised, I'm kind of a little scared because like anything could happen in this universe, right? Like anything is possible in this version of Superman. And so I cannot recommend this one enough.
Well, I just hope that we make it past 24 issues. Just saying.
Oh, that's a great dig. That's a great dig.
Uh-huh. If you read comic books, you know exactly what I'm saying. So we read The Last Dust of Krypton. That was the first trade. The second one is Son of the Demon, which is where you get more into the Ra's al Ghul storyline. And then the last one's going to be the Never Ending Begins. Ever, yeah. All right, that's exactly what I read.
Yeah.
That comes out in November, so you have time for that one if you want to catch up on these two. So with that, we will go into Absolute Wonder Woman, which I am a big fan of I almost said Absolute Spider-Man, Absolute Batman, but Absolute Wonder Woman is probably my favorite art, 100%.
Yeah, it feels the most like traditional DC house style of all the Absolute books. Like it feels the most at home. Like I feel like it
Well,
doesn't
Hayden
look
Sherman is a stud, dude. I don't
absolute
care.
stud. Yeah, but I also no, but I'm saying like I don't think this book feels that different than like the way Birds of Prey felt, which just wrapped up earlier this year, which like I don't think it feels that different than the way Batgirl feels right now. Like it feels closer to the DC house style, which I'm not complaining about because it's really good. But man, what they do with that art, like where it feels so, like I think that's actually like a strength of it, where it makes it feel more familiar. It makes it feel more like a mainline DC book. And I think Wonder Woman probably has the biggest differences. Like we can argue about that when we get to Batman because there's like more, I think, literal differences in that book. But in terms of just like the world, I think Wonder Woman probably goes the furthest.
Well, if I think about it, if I think about it,
You should think about it.
yeah, let me think about it for a second. All right, so now that I've thought about
Yeah.
it, Ultimate Wonder Woman, the the main thing that I find that is different is yes, she's raised on hell. We'll get to that. That's fine. Okay, so she literally just sees the good in everybody. And she is such a sweetheart and will do anything and everything, and she will do it just, just out of being stupid nice. Okay. And
Hmm.
like it's kind of weird how everybody gravitates towards her and just instantly loves Diane. Like it is weird to me. And there was
I think her kindness is why I think it's the most different. Like she is like she's never messed up, right? In the
n-
book that I think I'm caught up on all the
yeah,
issues. We're only talking about the first five for the sake of this podcast. But
yeah.
like, man, she's just like who I wish I could be. Just like seeing the good in everyone. Like honestly, she's like more like you expect Superman to be, right?
She's so
Like
goddamn sweet.
she's so sweet. There's like that one page, like in the first issue, where she's like a baby, and there's like a fire lizard, and like it's like breathing fire, and then she's like, no, bad, bad, and she like hits it a little bit, and then she immediately just like changes her tune and like cuddles it and like kisses it, and then like lets it go, and like she's being raised by Cersei, right?
Which is her in the original universe. That's like her mortal enemy.
That's her, yeah, that's her Lex Luthor or whatever. And Cersei's like her mom raising her, and she's just like, oh, she's gonna regret that someday. It's gonna come back and singe all of her hair off, you know? But like she's so happy that like kindness is her first instinct. And like Wonder Woman is a character who's been written all over the place. I've been reviewing the recent Wonder Woman comics over at AIPT Comics. I like the Tom King stuff more than most people. I completely understand the criticisms. I don't think they're wrong. They just don't bother me. Maybe it's I just don't have as close an association to mainline DC Wonder Woman as other people. So I'm less angry by the way she's being written there. But like she's polite in that book, but I wouldn't say she's nice, you know. And then in this book, she's nice and also polite. But like the fact that she's like nice first, and like that is her first instinct is I think like honestly, like that's like my hope core. The way they talked about like Project Hail Mary being like, oh, let's solve problems instead of like being beaten by them. Like that's how like Diana makes me feel in this book. Is I think she's like probably the most inspiring comic character I've read in the last like 5 years, at least, is Diana in this book.
She is just cavities written all over her, brother. That's just
She's
how
what?
sweet she is. She's
Oh,
so
cat.
sweet, gives me
Oh,
cavities.
so okay. You sucked me in. I was like, wait, what? Oh God, that was such a
Yeah.
good turn of phrase. I love you.
No, Kelly Thompson. Okay. Now I have a soft spot for Kelly Thompson. One, we share the same last name, so that's freaking cool.
Yeah, great.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, which by the way, Kelly, if you ever hear this, you want to be on Thompson's Comic Corner, you're more than welcome. But we will listen, any creators want to be on the show, just come on down, dude. Like,
Yeah.
come on down. We'll open up the soapbox for you. You can stand on it. You can get out here.
I
Um,
like I shot her an email for my show being like, "Oh, hey, I'd love to talk to you about this book," because like she was I think like getting towards the end of her Captain Marvel run, which was like the second longest Captain Marvel run of all time. I was like, "Hey, I'm a book about the early 2000s. Like, do you want to come on and talk about like the Miss Marvel book from 2006?" And she's like, she's like, "Oh, yeah, maybe. I'm a little busy right now." And then like I read some like announcements and she announced like four new books. I'm like, "Okay, cool. This is just not going to work out." So like you're one of the busiest writers in comics. I think she's won Eisner's for her writing. Like I have never read a bad book by Kelly Thompson. She's someone I have season tickets for. At like her Birds of Prey book is one of my favorite books of the last 15 years. I think it's like borderline perfect. And like this book might be better than that. Like she's so talented.
Nothing beats her Jeff run. I don't give a damn.
Dude, Jeff, like I like want to hate Jeff because I lose to him every time I play Marvel Rivals.
I
But
love Jeff.
but damn, those Jeff books are so good. And like those are
Oh my God.
I like introduced Jeff as a character to my girlfriend to the point where she's now like every time I go to the shop, she's like, "Was there a new Jeff book? Did you get it for me?" Like I've just been buying Jeff for my girlfriend because she thinks he's the most delightful character, and I can't argue with her because he's
He's so adorable.
pretty delightful. Yeah.
Yeah. So Saturday, when everybody that's listening to this goes to the comic book store, if you got kids, go buy It's Jeff or Jeff
Uh,
Meets Daredevil. That's
it's
fun.
it's great because it's pretty much wordless, and it's
Yep.
like it's like a great kids book. Everything's told visually, and they're all really wholesome. Did you see? I think recently there was the Jeff Aquaman digital short
Yes.
that was on
Yes.
DC Infinite. Man, that book was really good. The book was really good, man. Kelly
Yes.
Thompson, again, I don't think like Black Cloak rocked. Like she's never made a bad book ever.
Mm-mm. And her absolute. So you have her and Hayden Sherman as the two main. Again, I alluded to it in issues 6 and 7. You get a different artist. I can't think of. I'm sorry that I can't think of who it is. And I thought that those were the most beautiful, like painted esque. You got to look it up. If you ain't read them, go read them. They are just the art in that is immaculate. But Hayden Sherman did Batman Dark Patterns, and I fell in love with his art through
Hmm.
that. So then I picked up Absolute Wonder Woman, and I mean, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. She's a badass too. Like you can't forget that. Wonder Woman has always had like this like edge to her. This one has the edge, but she's just overly nice. Like she literally will do anything for the human people, for a creature. It doesn't matter who it is,
Yeah.
for anything for life.
No, she's better than you. And like I'm not saying that in like an arrogant way. I'm saying like she's like the Friedrich Nietzschean Ubermensch ideal, where it's just like she has transcended the wants and the needs of basic human power, where she's just like, no, everything is deserved, everything is loved, everything. Like she is like the actual like ascended person, where she sees the value in everything and has no want except for the care of other things. Like it's like literally the most perfect character ever written, but it's never frustrating. Like I really hate losers who complain about Gary Stews and Mary Sue's. Like I think you guys are like just the bottom of the barrel when it comes to like actual criticism.
Yeah.
This character is written perfectly and she's written so freaking well. Like she's like the actual best. I love her. Like this is like the most, like I said, the most inspiring comic character I can think of in modern times. Like she's so good. And
She
like
literally
and the fact that
sacrifices her arm.
she's so metal too. She flies around on like a skeleton Pegasus, man. Like
Oh, that's sick. And the
it's
helmet that she wears, like you're like
yeah.
3 pages deep into the book, dude, and she shows up and she's got this like metal looking helmet.
Yeah, and she fights a giant kaiju off the coast of San Francisco, Gateway City. Definitely not San Francisco. Don't confuse those
It's
two.
yeah,
Um,
we can't use that. It's definitely
no,
not San Francisco.
no, impossible. But like, she's the most metal of these characters. I think like we'll get into that argument for Batman because I'm actually
Oh,
I feel like you
nothing
think Batman's.
beats
I don't.
his axe, dude. Nothing beats Batman's axe. I don't care.
We'll talk about it when we get to Batman, but like I think Wonder Woman might be more metal. But
Mm.
like, dude, this book just rips from start to finish. Like, again, the fact that she's not polite, she's kind. She has a better heart than you. She has a better set of cares than you. Like, she reminds you what you should care about. She reminds you what your goals should be. Like, she's just impeccably written. I love this book so much. And like again, like when I'm reading, like this is my favorite Absolute book when I'm reading it, you know?
I listen, I'm not gonna say that it's not a great book. It is wholeheartedly. But but
But
it gets better. Believe me, it gets better. Now, I think the first 6 issues are collected in this. Maybe
I think
not. It
it's
might just be the first five.
I think it's the first five, yeah.
And then I don't think 6 and 7 are connected because it's kind of like a throwaway story.
Hmm.
I mean, really, there is no throwaways in the
Well,
Absolute Universe,
six
but
and seven, that's not the Labyrinth arc, right? Like the Labyrinth arc comes after that.
it comes after that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you kind of get more of a background of like what's going on and like Cersei's deal with the gods as to why she's taking care of Wonder Woman and like why she is the last Amazon. That's what 6 and 7's about, which again, I'm telling you, you peak art. It's beautiful. But so
Hmm.
she battle what does she battle after the big kaiju? What's the other one? She battles something else too. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but it's got like this like death squeal and she turns everybody deaf. So
Oh, that
uh
is the giant kaiju.
oh then what's she fight at the beginning?
No, because the giant kaiju, like it doesn't turn everyone, it turns everyone crazy and like makes them destroy their civilization, right? Like, isn't that
Yeah, then
the
what's the first thing she fights? She fights something else that's giant and badass too.
I think it's like one of the things that flies off the kaiju. Like I think it's like a Cloverfield situation.
I was about to say because she and I will say this though. So Superman is grounded. Okay, like he's like fighting just like, peacemakers, which I've meant to say that we get John Cena's appearance. Just
Oh, yeah,
joking,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Peacemaker's in there. But like he's more grounded, which is kind of weird because I'm used to him fighting like the supernaturals.
Mhm.
Wonder Woman is sick because not only is she better than you and she's the kindest, sweetest soul ever, she also does witchcraft, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of badass.
Oh, dude, magic is a huge part of this Wonder Woman, which like
Yeah.
it's been like hinted at in previous like mainline DC. But like, man, she is Cersei's daughter. Cersei was a witch sorceress from ancient
Yep.
Greek mythology, and yeah, I guess in DC continuity she would be described as like a witch sorceress. But like, man, that is such an important part of her character. And so like her balance of spirituality and physicality is so much fun in this book where like she just thinks of a solution. And like those solutions often require a lot of sacrifice. And she has never once hesitated to sacrifice parts of herself for someone else. Like that's what I mean when I say she's better than you. Like without hesitation, she will just make a choice that would take someone else like probably years to think about, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And I mean, you still have like her normal characters, like you still have Steve's in this, and a couple of like the close friends are still in this. And I mean, all the gods and like the it it's the same. It's the same as Superman, man. It's really the same thing, except a couple things are tweaked here and there. So if
Mhm.
you love Wonder Woman now, go read Absolute Wonder Woman. I guarantee you will have a new respect because I did. I
Yeah.
really like George Perez's run of Wonder Woman. Not so much the story, because he's another guy that I believe that like if He's kind of like the Rob Liefeld. You draw really well, but your storytelling kind of gets lost because you get lost in your own. You're not a writer. Like that's not your first love. Same with like Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane, yes, he got better over time, but like his Spider-Man run at first, kind of meh, so-so.
Sure.
And I feel like that was the same thing with George Perez's Wonder Woman is like he should have just stuck to either doing the script or he should have just like drew it. And it's beautiful. And I
Mhm.
mean, again, like I said, I'm a firm believer of that, and I really like that run. So if you go out and read that, or if you go reading Tom King's that you like, you know what I mean. I've never read it, so I don't have an opinion on it. Go read this. Tell us what you think. I think Kelly Thompson is a boss.
Yeah.
Hayden Sherman, stud. I'll buy
Uh,
anything. I'll buy anything with his name on it and
yeah,
her
man.
name, really.
That's what I call season tickets. Like I got season tickets for both of them. Like I don't need to read a solicit that says anything besides their names on a book to tell me that like, oh, I'm gonna buy this book. You know,
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you're good, I'm good. I'm ready to go to the main event.
that's a little tough, but all right. Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for the main event. I'm ready for meatball. I'm ready for beefcake, meatloaf, whatever you want to call
Hamburger bats. Let's talk about them.
it. Yeah, so it's Bruce Wayne. Duh. It's not as bad. It's not Dick Grayson. It's not Damian. It's Bruce. Just, he's like 7 foot tall, like 330 pounds, solid muscle,
Mhm.
construction worker. I mean, he's an architect, but mainly just does the construction work.
Engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, he he ain't rich. He ain't got no monies. He got a little bit
You
of monies,
you know,
obviously.
you know what he does have though.
Uh, Badassery, dude.
I was gonna say a mom.
Oh yeah, he does have a mom in this one. Well, we'll get to that later. I don't want to ruin that. If you're not up to date on Absolute Batman, we'll just leave that. You can come back to that another time.
It's a cliffhanger, whatever. Anyways, man, this book single-handedly changed my opinion of Scott Snyder. I like Scott Snyder really came into prominence. I loved the Black Mirror story when uh like the end of the DC universe right before New 52. I was really into his run on Detective Comics. I think Jock was doing the art on that,
He
and I just
was.
thought it was super fun, right? Like that was like it was back when Dick was still Batman, right?
Yep, Dick Grayson was Batman because I believe that was during
Like the
the
return of Bruce
RIP.
Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I liked that stuff. I haven't read it since it came out, so if I'm getting some of the details wrong, I'm really sorry. But that book came out when I was 22 and I'm now 35, and a lot of stuff has happened since then that has filled up my brain hard drive. But I was a little out on Scott Snyder just because like I didn't really care for New 52 Batman that much. Like the art was great. Like I love Greg Capullo. Like I think that stuff's super fun. But
No.
the storytelling itself, I'm just like, this feels just kind of like I thought it felt like someone. My problem with New 52 in general is that it feels like an older person's idea of what was cool 20 years ago and then projecting that as cool today. And that is how I felt about like, what if we made everything darker? What if we made everything more serious? What if we raised the stakes? I'm like, I don't think that's necessary for these characters. I also don't think that's the point of these characters. I
I
was
love the fact that
completely
Joker cut his face off and then attached it with tape and then staples.
It's like the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard. Okay,
No, come on. I was like 10 when that happened, 11. Come on,
I
that was
was like
cool.
I was like 22 when that happened. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? Like, what is this?
That was cool.
It
I
it
might have been older than that. Yeah, it
well,
was cool.
it felt like if the Johnny Cash song came out first and then Nine Inch Nails did a cover of it, but the cover was like it didn't land for me, is what I'm saying. And so I've been skeptical of Scott Snyder ever since New 52, where like everyone seems to love him. I always felt like the odd person out. I understand he's talented. I'm just saying, like, oh, this dude loves singing a genre that like I'm not interested in listening to.
Oh,
Man,
I
Absolute Batman rips. Like, Absolute Batman is so freaking good. And
It's
I feel like a
brutal.
broken record because I've been saying that about all these books, but what can I do, man? All these books are so good. This book changed my perception of Scott Snyder after 15 years of relationship with Scott Snyder. This book made me such a big Scott Snyder fan.
I feel like that was like a lot of people thought because I really liked his Court of Owls. The Court of Owls story is really fun. I own it
That
in three
that
different formats.
that book pissed me off so much, man.
I loved it.
It was Dexter season one, the comic book. I was so mad. I was even more mad at Dexter, by the way. But like the fact that it just felt like that, I was like, ugh, I'm not a fan. But dude, this book.
Oh, they hit a home run. And Nick Dragotta's art. So I was gonna say it with Wonder Woman, and I completely forgot about it. Wonder Woman and Batman kind of have like a manga-esque to it. Batman more so than Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman does have this big ass sword that I forgot to mention, but the Batman series has such a manga inspiration to the art. It is sick. Like it is 110%. Like I don't think that the book I think that it would be a success, but I don't think it would be as of a success if Nick Dragotta wasn't the main artist.
I agree. I think part of what makes it so successful, though, which is funny, you and I have talked about how much you actually don't like The Dark Knight Returns. Like you're just not a huge fan of that book, right?
Yeah, I've tried. I think it's just all it's not the story itself. I think it's all the politicalness that like I have to read through like the stuff like on like where you're trying to go through like the TV screens in the book and like it just drives me nuts.
Mhm.
And I think that's the issue for The Dark Knight Returns. I don't think it's the story itself or the art. I've always thought that it was the art, but it's really not because I feel that book has some like you see some Dark Knight stuff in this book, obviously.
I think one of the biggest Dark Knight things you see is like the breakdowns on each page. Like the fact that like it has no problem going from like huge panel to small panel to medium panel back to small panel to medium panel to three small panels to like a wide panel. Like I think this book just has a weird momentum to it just because of how it's framed out by Dragotta. And I think that is my favorite thing about The Dark Knight Returns that I just see in every page of this book is like the pacing of it, where it's just like you're constantly like pulling it up closer to your face so you can read the small panel, then pulling it further away so you can appreciate the bigger panel. Like there's like an actual like momentum and movement and rhythm to it that I think makes it really special. Like the Scott Snyder stuff is great. Like the penning of it is awesome. But like man, the actual art of this book is it's like it's breathing, you know, like there's contractions and expansions, and it's just it feels like it's alive when it's sitting in your hands. It's like it's unlike 99% of comics I've read. Like it's just so special from an art perspective.
Yeah, I like all the action that is in this book, and it's so cool. And again, I alluded to it earlier, his chess symbol. So when the first cover A, issue one, got dropped, everybody saw it. Everybody was literally like, "What the hell is that? Like, why? Why that don't look like a bat? That's stupid." I think it's issue two or issue three. I'm pretty sure it's issue two when he literally takes out what looks like a pair of pliers and he attaches it to it and takes it off, and it's a freaking axe and he cuts a dude's hand off. That is sick. I love the fact that Black Mask was our main antagonist. That was cool. They reinvented his character. It was fun. The party animals was actually a really cool concept. I liked it. It's just anarchy for money,
Yeah,
which
man, that was kind of ripped off in a recent Flash story too. Actually, like the Ryan North Gavin Goodry Flash arc is like not that different than the beginning of this arc.
yeah, well, hey, they got me because I don't read the Flash. I used to as like a kid. I have like issue I think 300 with
It's
Gorilla
really good.
Blog.
The Ryan North Gavin Goodry stuff is really good. But sorry, I'm getting away from the point. But it's just like it's one of those things where it's like I think it was copied because like it makes too much sense to not have that be a story, right? Where it's just like everyone's desperate for money, economy is going to hell in a handbasket. So you're just like, okay, how can I as a villain take advantage of this? Oh, people need money. I can give them not a lot of money to create the most amount of chaos to make my life easier. Like it's just like such a perfect setup for a cartoonish villain like this.
Right. And in cartoonish is it's very cartoonish in the aspect of like they all wear like these goofy helmets, which you come to find out has like a screen in it, and it like if you're looking, so there's a part where Martha, Bruce's mom, puts one of the helmets on and she looks at Jim Gordon, which he is the mayor, right? Yeah, yeah, he's the mayor. She's looking at him, and there's $1 million bounty on his head, and she could see it through the helmet. That's sick. I like the part where, so do you think this Batman kills?
I absolutely think this Batman kills. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this Batman kills too, but there's a part, all right. So I think it's issue 4 where they're on the boat and he's fighting the party animals and Black Mask, and he puts on a like a life vest to, I want to say it's Black Mask's kid, like his daughter, and he puts a mask or puts a life vest on her and then boots her off the boat. Like that was sick. When the first time I saw that, that was sick.
I
I
don't
was
think
like, this
I
is
don't okay. I don't think he kills everyone. I think he makes decisions about like we could do without this person, you know?
right, but it's just like, does regular Batman, like does regular Bruce, does he put a life vest on small child and then punts small child off the boat? I don't think so.
I don't think regular Bruce punts a kid off a boat. No, if that's
Yeah,
what
but
you're
that kid was stabbing
asking.
people. Dude, that kid killed one of the mob bosses in Gotham City. So I mean,
Okay.
hey,
I will say no, Tom Taylor's Batman would do that, just so we're 100% clear, you know?
oh, guaranteed, guaranteed,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with it. But there's just so many fun aspects of this. And like one of the biggest changes that I know in this story is there's two. Only one of Bruce's parents dies, which is his dad.
Right.
And he dies, and he's a teacher. He's not a doctor, he's a teacher in this one, and he dies at the zoo. That's why the name of this is the zoo. That's where his origin takes place. And so that changes. Martha's still alive. Her background gets explained more in the second story arc, like the Bane story arc, which I
Hmm.
really like where they went with that, and I want to see how they continue that, or if they just, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. But it's very interesting. It gets better. And then the other one is Alfred is like a badass spy-ish character, and his main job is to spy on the party animals to like investigate them, and then he's supposed to engage with the Batman,
Hmm.
and he doesn't. At the end, he ends up helping him, and it's like he kind of like does like his like I'm helping Batman role, but it's the way that they handle it is completely different, and it's so much
I
more fun that way.
I agree those are the two biggest. I think you're missing another one though.
Sorry. All of his rogues gallery that we know for the most part, except the Joker, which his character is weird in this, but it's kind of cool. And I'll tell you why after this. All of his rogues gallery is his best friends,
It's insane. It's awesome. It's my favorite thing. Like,
which
like
which when in the first story arc, right? Like it's slow played, like how this all goes down. You see how each and every one of them has something happen to them, and maybe or maybe not they turn into villains.
mhm.
You got to read to find out. You got to read through the Bane story arc, which is, listen, so this first story arc, the
Look,
zoo is
no
sick.
spoiler, no spoilers here, but doesn't look good.
Bane is 100% like that storyline takes it to another level. Like my God.
Yeah, honestly, between like this, Tom King's run on Batman and Dark Knight Rises, I'm like, man, is Bane secretly everyone's favorite Batman villain? Like the dude just has like some of the sickest stories of the last 15 years, you
I
know?
mean, he was the main villain of Nightfall, the
Yeah, but he
big
was like he was
storyline
like
of
a
the
new
90s.
yeah, but he was like a new villain then. But like what I'm saying is like he was introduced then in an awesome storyline. But
We
like
just
of
won't
the
talk about Batman and Robin, the movie.
no, not my favorite interpretation of the character. But no, but between like this run, Tom King's run, I guess you could even say like Secret Six, like the Gail Simone follow up to Villains United, which is a really fun episode that we covered recently. You should check it out. Like Bane is like secretly like sleeper, everyone's like, if not their favorite Batman villain, I think like top three, which is like pretty nuts that he's like a relatively new character and has like snuck in as such an important part of the Batman mythos, you know? Um, but sorry to get back to like he's like playing poker with Penguin and Riddler and Croc, you know, like it's just it flips everything on its head and like it almost feels like a checklist of just like how different can we make this book than the main book, but like it never feels contrived that way. Like it feels like such a natural fit, even though everything is like the exact opposite of what you're
Yeah,
used to from mainline continuity. Like
yeah, nothing feels forced.
it's so well done. And you were talking about Alfred too. He has the history of like being in like the SAS or whatever, like former British special forces and like working in the theater company. So he's like an accomplished actor who just retired to be a butler for this family that he really cared about. Like all that stuff's like fine, whatever. But like, man, when he first showed up, like because of the way he's drawn, like I thought he was Ra's al Ghul for the first story, like with his hairline and all that stuff.
I
Like,
can see it. It was the mustache.
well, that and like his capability, which like again was hinted at in mainline DC universe stuff. But like that's who I thought it was. And like, man, he's it's good to see Alfred again because he's been out of DC Comics for 8 years at this point.
I mean, he's a
9 years at this point.
hologram. He's a hologram in Detective Comics at the moment.
Yeah, but like that's also like just tugging on heartstrings, but like that's not really Alfred. He died in like the spoilers, City of Bane arc from Tom King during that run from
I think
Rebirth.
that's why everybody hates Tom King. He killed Alfred.
That's actually not why everyone hates Tom King. We're not going to get into why everyone hates Tom King right now. But um, no, like I said, the story flips everything you thought you knew about Batman, but it doesn't feel like it's just a checklist. Like it feels so natural the way it's written, the way it's drawn, like everything. Like I said, like it feels rhythmic. It feels like you're breathing as you look through these panels of just such varying sizes. Like it just it has like a heartbeat to it. And then like you're just given this story that is just so alien to everything you know. I still think that Wonder Woman is written the most different because I think because it's so inspiring in such an uninspiring world. And like I don't think Batman is inspiring. I think Batman feels like a necessity. Like I think Batman is a response. I think Wonder Woman is like a solution, if that makes sense. In
If
terms
you
of
read it, you will.
in
I
in
completely agree with what you're saying.
in terms of the world. And like this is honestly my only complaint about the Absolute books because I feel like we're at the point where we can talk about them holistically together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My only complaint is like I don't feel like Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Batman. I don't feel like they take place in the same world. I think the two closest books feel like Wonder Woman and Batman, and I think that's why they crossed over first in later issues. But like this story, like the negativity, the oppression that exists in all these books, like that is like the unifying link. But like I don't know, like I don't feel like the totalitarianism that feels everywhere in the Superman book is there in Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman feels more hopeful. Batman feels more pessimistic, and then Superman feels more oppressed. Like in terms of all these, like I don't feel like there's a cohesion there, but like thematically, I feel like they all make sense together, especially when you look at them as just like complete. Nah, not complete, mostly complete rebuttals of the DC universe, where they're just like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Like, we're telling a different story. These characters are great, but the context needs to change. And that's where I feel like
No.
the strength of this book line is. But also, like, that's my one criticism against the book line is it doesn't feel like it's all in the same universe.
So with all of that, George, I wish I could put into words the way that you do. Like I wish I could do that. We're getting there. We're getting there. I love hearing it.
You just gotta talk out loud more, man. That's all I do. I just
I love it. Um, with that, I want to thank everybody for listening to us. And, hopefully our opinions on the absolute universe gets you to go out there and go read these books. They're the hottest thing right now. I'm telling you, they're affordable. trade paperbacks. They're 17.99. Again, if you're going to your local LCS, local comic book shop on, May 2nd for, free comic book day, go buy one. Hell, go buy all three of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to because I already got all three of them, but I will
No,
definitely be out there spending my money, I promise.
I got the singles. I'm buying the trades, and those are like I'm treating it like a library. Like I'm giving them to everyone I know to like, hey man, you should check this out. It's pretty rad. Because like again, like this stuff doesn't feel like comics. Like this feels like a 90s indie movie. This feels like a punk album from the 80s. Like this feels so wildly different than what we're used to that is just like such a breath of fresh air. Like I can't recommend any of these books enough. Everyone I'm reading, that's my favorite one at the time. Like I can't choose a favorite of these three books.
No, I completely, well, no, I don't agree.
Yeah, I know you don't
Batman,
like Superman. Yeah.
Batman. So,
Yeah, Bad Batman's your favorite. No, I get it though. Like I get why. Again, it turned me around on Scott Snyder. Like I didn't think that was possible. And like I'm not dunking on the dude. I'm just saying it wasn't my speed. But this book is absolutely my speed.
yeah, they absolutely, were all in and took it to the next level. Had to get
I
that
didn't even
plug in one more time.
I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, you're right. Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's the show for tonight. And again, George, thank you for being on.
Yeah. Thanks for
I
having me, Zach.
appreciate it. George is always on the show. Like he's like I said, he's my shotgun rider. So, it's always a good time. The next time me and George are on here, we're probably gonna do uh Infinite Crisis and finish it.
Hmm.
So it'll be a 7 issue, awesome, kick-ass event. So again, thank you
Yeah.
guys, and
Oh,
thank you, George.
really quick, if you want prep work for Infinite Crisis, we did 5 episodes talking about the books that lead into Infinite Crisis from the very beginning. We talk about Countdown to Infinite Crisis. We talk about Day of Vengeance, the mystical side of the book. We talk about OMAC Project, which is like the spy thriller side. We talk about Villains United, which talks about the secret society of supervillains and the people who oppose them. And we talk about Rand Thanagar War, which talks about the cosmic side. So that is us setting the table for Infinite Crisis, and we will jump into the main event soon.
Yes, sir. So as I always say, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and peace out, Cub Scouts.